All right, welcome to the Lead Word. I'm one of your hosts, Chad Bauman. With me, as always, Trey Daubert, joining us again. He already like 90% better than some of the other producers we've had. Isaiah made it
100%.
made it to show number 2.
Yeah.
That like puts him not in the top percentile. So,
Yeah.
congrats, Isaiah, on that accomplishment of making your second show. Trey, what's going on? Isaiah, what's going on?
Another day. It's another day. Hi. Never mind. I'm not gonna say it.
So before we get into the show, I would just like to say to all the kids out there, just stay out of the gym. It's not worth it in the long run. I got back into the gym last week, and now I have to go to urgent care because I might be dying.
Nah.
I am dead serious. So,
It still hurts.
well, no, this is actually so I think it's related to that. But it's actually it's something different. So story time, and I wanted to talk about this before we got into the actual show anyway. But I got to go to urgent care as soon as we're done recording because so I told Trey this, but this is like I said, story time for the viewers. I got back into the gym on Thursday last week, right? So I'm going Thursday through Tuesday because that fits my work schedule the best. So I was doing bench, and I'm not going to tell you how much I was trying to bench because it's kind of embarrassing. And I thought I was doing good because I had when I get back in the gym, I had this habit of trying to do what I used to be able to do when I went to the gym regularly, which is always like it's really bad for me. So I was like, I'm just gonna make sure I keep it nice and go at my current new pace. So I'm lifting. I get like halfway through the set. I'm like, I've rep number 5, and I just fail it, and it's coming down on me. But I'm gonna catch it, and I'm gonna do that thing where I roll it down my chest. But I've had hernia for a while now, right? I had it before I got surgery, and then it came back. So I don't know what I did, but when I was trying to roll it down my chest, like I felt like I tore something like right in here on both sides, and I was like, I like couldn't move my arms back. Like I could push them out forward, but if I tried to go like this, I just my arms just like cramped up really bad. And I texted Trey, I was like, I think I tore something. So but also what I didn't realize at the time when I was still in the gym because my pecs hurt so much was that I like the hernia that I've had, it never really bothered me. It's like I knew had to get it fixed eventually, but I didn't get it fixed because it wasn't hurting or anything, and I was like, okay, I could just wait. But now it started to hurt. And I was like, okay, no big deal. It's only hurting a little bit, only in certain positions. Like, I'll just make sure that I get that taken care of instead of waiting until like the summer, like I was going to do. I'll wait, I'll do it in like February, March, right? Well, last night, I don't know why, but like I just happened to be scratching like my belly button where my hernia is. And like I felt like something dried on my like
Are
belly
you
button.
dying?
I might be. I look down and there's like dried blood in my belly button, or at least it looks like blood. I don't know if it's blood. It could be something else. And like my inside of my belly button is like all puffed out and red. So like now I don't know. I might be dying. So I have to go to urgent care when we're done with this.
Jamie benched 135 yesterday.
Oh, good for Jamie.
Yeah.
So the
Jamie,
in part of your shoulder,
huh?
your labrums are right here because I'm experienced in that feeling because I tore my right labrum a little bit,
Okay.
and so like I can't throw, but like it doesn't hurt to lift. So maybe you just have a bigger tear than I do, but you could have tore a labrum or something in there.
I don't think I tore something because like this part, like this is fine now. It just hurt really bad, like in the moment. And like I have like full range of motion, everything back. I don't know. I might have just like tweaked it or like cramped up really bad, but I don't know. Like I've cramped up before, And again, I used to be an athlete. Well, I'm still an athlete. I'm just really fat now. Like I used to be in shape and I used to go to the gym all the time. Like don't get me wrong, uh, but like like I've sprained my MCL multiple times. I was like I sprained my MCL so bad once that they were like, "Yeah, you pretty much almost tore it at this point." So like that didn't hurt as much as like just whatever happened on Thursday to this part of my body did. So that's why I was like, I think I might be dying. But now I realize like I might actually be dying.
Great. Just the news we all wanted to hear to start off the show.
Yeah, I thought it was funny.
All right, Chad, let's get into the games. Only 2 games.
Yeah.
2 games.
Where do you want to start?
I don't know if you're feeling like this, Chad, but I'm more confident that the Bengals are going to win this week over the other game. The other game, I'm like, I don't know. This week, I think the Bengals are going to win.
That game is so like it for me. I don't know. I'm not confident in either team. I'm really not. And here's why. It like the Chiefs. Like we know what we're gonna get from the Chiefs. I feel like.
Do we though?
Huh?
Mahomes' ankle is going to be way worse this week than it was when he just played.
You didn't let me finish, but that's fine.
Okay. All right.
I was gonna say I feel like we know what we're gonna get from the Chiefs, with the only wrinkle being is that Mahomes injury. Like, is he gonna be able to like do the normal things that he not even do the normal things that he does? Like, because we know he's kind of like superhuman at this point, but like, is he gonna be able to be a normal quarterback?
I don't think so
at all. But at the same time, like Andy Reid's still out there. Andy Reid again. I feel like Andy, like he's got like rainy day plays. Like, okay, Mahomes' leg is cut in half. We can't use that. Let's go with this part of the playbook. But at the same time, I feel like the Bengals, they're just so what's the word? Chaotic. Like they're just I just don't know with them. I will tell you this. Preferably, as much as I love Andy Reid, I want the Bengals to win because I feel like the Eagles have a better chance against them in the Super Bowl.
You just don't want to play Andy Reid in the Super Bowl.
Oh yeah, I'm not gonna lie. Like Andy Reid in the Super Bowl it scares me. Like I don't like. I'm very like I said. I feel like the Bengals in the Super Bowl are a better matchup for the Eagles. I'm just like, and I'm torn with it because part of me is like, man, I kind of want. Like, if the Eagles don't win the Super Bowl, I would really love to see Andy Reid win another one. Like, that part of me is saying that. The other part of me is like, well, Andy Reid could 100% beat this Eagles team.
Yeah.
And don't get me wrong, at this point, I honestly 100% as a team think the Eagles are the best team in the playoffs right now. Like, as a whole. Like, I would take Mahomes, and I love Jalen Hurts. And I said this, I'm so happy Jalen Hurts got good. But I still think Burrow and Mahomes are better quarterbacks than Jalen Hurts is right now. So I would still take them. But I'd still take our offensive line over all the other offensive lines right now.
Yeah.
I think I might take Kittle over Goddard, but, it's a close
I'll take your pass rushing unit.
Again, that's another one. I would take our secondary. Even with fucking Blankenship in the secondary,
he's not terrible.
I know he's a good backup. I had this conversation last week during the Giants game. He's a good backup. Like he can't make all the plays that CJ Gardner-Johnson was making, but he's not
for an undrafted free agent. He's about as good as you're gonna get.
The only thing is he can't tackle for shit. Like who was it Davis Webb? Yeah, Davis Webb ran him over in that game of the last week of the season. So.
Yeah.
Not like that's not a good look for him, but I mean, like I said, I would take him over, the alternative. So, like I said, overall, I think the Eagles have the best, but I think that Andy Reid scares me the most.
I think the Bengals are going to win. I think the Bengals can run the ball better than the Chiefs. I mean, I couldn't believe how good they were after losing 2 offensive linemen. They were opening up holes after holes in the Bills. Like, it's not like Kansas City's run defense is any good. If Mixon can run for 100 yards again and Chase and Higgins are running wild, I don't know how the Chiefs win.
Yeah. Like I said, I think the Bengals are the most chaotic team in the postseason.
Yeah.
Like I don't feel like you have any idea what so when I say like the Chiefs are the most consistent, that's sort of like they're the most consistent in that like Andy Reid's gonna come in and he's gonna dial up some crazy plays, and you don't know what they're gonna do, but you know that what you're gonna get with them. You know what I'm saying? Does that make sense? I feel like it doesn't.
Yeah, I mean, by now you know the tricks are coming out. Kelsey's gonna get his targets. The screen, he's gonna dial up one screen pass that goes
that shovel pass thing that they like to do. That like he started when like with the Eagles, but he took over to Kansas City. So okay, good. I'm glad that made less sense while I was saying it than I think I wanted it to. So I'm glad you understood. But with the Bengals, it's like they're just like, well, the only consistent thing here is Joe Burrow. Like we're gonna be really good sometimes, we're gonna be really bad some other times. But ultimately, as long as we have Joe Burrow, we're just in it.
I just can't believe how good they are on both lines of scrimmages.
Yeah, they kick the shit out of Buffalo, and that's something with like people are like talking about like Josh Allen, like, oh, Josh Allen, he didn't perform. I was like, well, yeah, their defense didn't show up either.
No,
like we can't just sit here and act like, oh, it's all Josh Allen's fault, and it's like, well, the defense, I didn't see the defense.
If you swapped quarterbacks, the result's the same.
I think so. And also I think the coaching for fucking the Buffalo too, like what are the things these teams do best, right?
They had no ability to run the ball, and during that weather, they were just calling up deep shot after deep shot, like they weren't getting any real completions.
Well, that's what I was gonna say. Like, well, I don't think it was all deep shots, but I was gonna say, like, when you look at those games, like, what did the Bengals do? They came out and they said, okay, well, what do we do best? We throw the ball with Joe Burrow. And what do? They came out and they threw the ball with Joe Burrow. They put confidence in their guy, and Joe Burrow started slinging the rock, and eventually that opened up the run game for him. And that's how they just handled Buffalo.
Well, Buffalo can never.
But if you look at the Buffalo offense to start, like, I didn't feel like there was the same confidence in Josh Allen, who was your MVP candidate, all season. Now all of a sudden we get into the playoffs, and yeah, the weather's bad, but it's like, okay, well, we're not going to let Josh Allen do what he does best.
I just thought there was a difference. Like with the Bills, I didn't think the Bengals had any fear that they were going to run the ball on them. Like they were never going to pick up first downs just handing the ball off. It was just Josh Allen carry us.
Yeah. But I don't know. Like I said, I'm torn on this game. I'm honestly kind of leaning Kansas City though.
Okay. How about this one? The Bengals are currently 1-point favorites on the road, according to the line.
I think that's a lot of that's the Mahomes injury.
Yeah.
And I mean, he's going to get one of those. It's not cortisol, or it might be cortisol, but he's going to get like one of those shots that they give. And I mean, he's going to play. I mean, it doesn't necessarily help his style of play, but we've seen quarterbacks go out there and play with like bad leg injuries before and have really good games. I mean, fucking, what's his name? Phillip Rivers, like in like 2000, what was it? 2004, 2005, or it might've been 2006.
He had
torn ACL, went out and in a playoff game, and he had pretty good, he kept it close. They lost by.
How about Byron Leftwich when they were carrying him up the field?
Yeah. McNabb won a playoff, or I don't think it was a playoff game. I think it might have been a regular season game against the Giants with a broken ankle once. So, I mean, I don't think it's impossible for Mahomes to come out and just have a really good game. Again, I think Andy Reid's going to dial up some really crazy plays. And the thing is, too, like, yeah, we've seen the Bengals, like, in the last calendar year, they beat the Chiefs, like, 3 times going back to the last year's playoffs. But I mean, it's not like any of those games were like particularly blowouts or anything like that. They were all they were all won by a field goal, and they were all very close. Went down to the wire. I mean, I it's weird because I feel like you said, the Chiefs are the dogs here, but I don't know. I can't count them out. I feel like as long as they had that combination of Andy Reid and Pat Mahomes, there's got to be a chance.
I'm not saying there is zero chance. When you look at the Chiefs, it's like it's just Kelsey now. They don't have the weapons that they used to. Like they don't have the guys that are going to match Higgins and Chase. They don't.
Yeah, but at the same time too, like And again, I guess this is going to come down to Andy Reid. I feel like this is the best their run game has ever been.
Pacheco's been good.
Like, I don't think they've ever run I don't know. Maybe it's just something about the way he runs, particularly like that hard nose. Like, he fucking hits people.
Yeah.
Like, I love
quick,
watching him run the ball. So I don't know. Maybe it's just him.
What do you think he's going for in fantasy?
What'd you say?
What do you think he's going for in fantasy?
Oh,
Pacheco.
Oh, he might be good. I don't know. I'd have to take a better look at his stats, but I would say he's going to be like $30 at least.
Yeah, I know. And it'll be his second year.
Yeah. But like I said, I think I'm going to lean Chiefs because I just think Andy Reid's like he's got like some rainy day plays that are dialed up. It's going to be a close game.
Yeah.
So I'm going to go Chiefs because like I said,
Okay.
I just think something about Andy, like he's got something hidden.
I'm going Bengals.
Okay. Like I said, I want the Bengals to win, but we'll see what happens.
Eagles.
Special day, special occasion.
Hey, we got to say this first. We were all over this. We said the Giants had no shot. We said the Giants weren't any good. We had, I mean, last episode, I don't think we had any concern that the Eagles weren't going to win, and it was a total blowout.
I didn't expect, I'm not going to lie, didn't expect a blowout. Like, I expected like a 10, 14-point win, but I didn't expect like a total fucking ass beating. Like, that's what it was.
Yeah.
But I wanted to let you guys know, like, I brought out the special hat, conference champs, signed by my fourth all-time favorite Eagles, second all-time favorite tight end, Brent Selleck. First all-time favorite tight end, Chad Lewis. Just saying that.
Okay.
Don't have his autograph though. That's unfortunate. That guy, I don't even know if he's still alive. I don't know. I feel like he should be. He doesn't feel old enough to not be alive, but he might. I don't know. But yeah, I mean, I got the Eagles. Like, obviously, I feel like that should be said. I just spent like 30 minutes talking about how I feel like the easiest Super Bowl matchup for the Eagles was the Bengals. So
I have the Eagles as well, and it's more so because I think this pass rushing unit is just so good that I don't think Brock Purdy is going to be effective.
Yeah, I agree. Like I think when you look at the Dallas game, like Dallas gave them fucking fits, right?
Yeah, they did. I don't think that's enough points to win this week.
Right. Like, and don't get me wrong, San Fran also has a really good defense, but Dakota Prescott, he's not Jalen Hurts. I thought that was Jamie at first. I was like, oh, it's got to be Max.
Yeah.
But yeah, Dak, and think about it. The Cowboys, they were one touchdown away from winning that game.
Yeah.
And they literally gave San Fran 7 points. Brett Maher, I mean, we know it's been talked about like ad nauseum at this point, but that kick, even if it wasn't blocked, was going to be missed. Right? So that's 1 point right there. Dak gives 3 away on the first interception, and he gave another 3 away on the second interception.
Could have been more points.
And he almost had a pick 6
Yeah.
on that second or the first attempt at a game-winning drive.
Yeah, Dre Greenlaw could have easily taken that to the house.
He almost gave up a safety.
Yeah. So, yeah, how about that one? He bulldozed into a guy in the end zone.
Yes.
What the fuck was he doing?
I don't.
I'm glad you brought that up because I almost forgot about that. That was the worst play, I think, of the whole game for them.
There is so much bad with this Cowboys team. Like, you can't look at that game different matchups, things happen. Like, game momentum can change, like certain things can swing, but like you can't look at that Cowboys San Fran game and be like, oh yeah, this San Fran team is going to come across the country to one of the most hostile fucking home field advantages in the National Football League. And I say one of, but I think it's honestly the most hostile home field advantages in the nation in National Football League. And Brock Purdy, the last pick of the draft, is supposed to like fucking come out of here with a win. And I said it before that San Fran Dallas game. I said, as long as Brock Purdy doesn't throw an interception, they'll win the game. He didn't throw an interception. He didn't turn the ball over. He tried to, but he didn't. And they won the game.
This week, he's going to have to put up some points.
I just don't see
he can't win a 16-point win this week.
The Eagles, I mean, again, if you break it down, the Eagles secondary, like Trayvon Diggs, we've talked about this before. Trayvon Diggs is a good player. He's got that little Russian roulette element to him. He didn't really play. I didn't really see him play too much of a factor in that Cowboys game, except he dropped the one pick. That's that's the most we talked about him, or that he was talked about during the game. But as great as Trayvon Diggs is, he's like got that inconsistency to him. James Bradbury and fucking Darius Slay were like the two highest rated corners this year in the league. Like they didn't have like a ton of interceptions, but they gave up like the fewest fucking completions, and they had they have
to contain McCaffrey.
Right. They
had the best let
him rating against.
They cannot let him go on like 40-yard chunks down the field.
But I don't think that's going to happen. I mean, our defensive tackles, Fletcher Cox, Jordan Davis.
I don't care what anybody says. That fucking Jordan Davis pick was good.
Yeah, I mean, the only thing that stopped you from hearing his name so much this year is because he missed like 5 or 6 games on IR.
Yeah, I don't know that maybe this is dumb, but to go back to that draft, I was so furious when the Eagles ended up with him and the Ravens got Kyle Hamilton. He's way better than Kyle Hamilton.
Yeah,
impact-wise.
Not to mention the second guy we took in that draft, Nakobe Dean. Like
he's the third guy they took in that draft.
That's what I was going to say is he's our second pick in that draft, and he's a good linebacker.
No, Juergens is the second.
Our linebackers right now, like again, I think Tre'Davious White I think is okay, but the fact that Nakobe Dean is on our bench right now, I feel like says a lot about the Eagles linebackers. Like I think as a unit, the Eagles linebackers, like, and the Eagles have always overlooked their linebackers, but I think as a unit, like this Eagles linebacker unit
Edwards
is better than like anything they've had since they got rid of what's his name? Hicks.
Yeah.
And I haven't even started talking about the offense yet. Like again, I don't like San Francisco's good, but I don't see how they're gonna stop. Like I don't like the Cowboys, like they don't have the Eagles offense. Like yes, Dak can run the ball, but like you don't see them do designed runs with Dak like we do designed runs with
I would argue they don't have their receivers.
Well, I didn't even get to that yet, but yeah. Like the last time AJ Brown played the 49ers, he had like 150 yards and 2 touchdowns.
I love Lamb.
That was when he was with Tennessee. That was when he was with Tennessee, and he had fucking Tannehill throwing in the ball.
I love CeeDee Lamb. I think he's awesome, but I would take Brown, and I think Smith is better than Gallup.
Yes.
I love Gallup too.
And Dallas Goedert, I don't know.
Better than Schultz.
Yeah. Schultz is good, but he's not. Yeah, he's definitely better than Schultz.
That was another classic. What are you doing, Cowboys? How did you not come out with Dallas? That would have been a perfect Cowboy.
Well, I think didn't the Eagles trade up?
Yeah.
Yeah. That's why, because
great move.
Like I think I'm not gonna lie, I think Brock Purdy does have a chance to.
I'm not counting the 49ers out at all. I'm way less confident about this game.
But I mean, so here's the thing. Because like I said before, like the reason why the Cowboys lost is because Dak turned the ball over. You're not going to get those turnovers out of Jalen Hurts. But if you look at Jalen Hurts' one loss this year, right? The Eagles turned the ball over 4 times. Jalen Hurts didn't. You had fucking Pascal. It was not Pascal. It was Quez Watkins fumbled. What's his name? Dallas Goedert had the fumble on the missed face mask call. And I forget what the other 2 were. I think Hurts might have had a pick, or he might have had 2 picks that game. But like I said, I don't see Hurts turning the ball over. But if the other Eagles, if they turn the ball over, that's where you give Brock Purdy and the 49ers a chance.
Yeah, and their defense is awesome. It is.
Yeah. but I still think our offense is better than their defense.
I don't know if this is fair or unfair. I just continue to think of the alternate universe where the 49ers don't make the Trey Lance trade. They sit there at 12 and take Parsons.
I would not have liked that, but but I mean, so again, I mean, we talk about the 49ers Dallas game. CeeDee Lamb, what did he have? Like 114, 120
He's
yards?
good.
Right? He's good. But like you said, like AJ Brown, like you're not going to stop AJ Brown and Smitty. Like one of them's going off. And like I said, AJ Brown.
That's what I think. The
last time he played this 49ers team had 150 yards.
How many points does Brock Purdy have to put up to win this game? That's the question.
I would say 30.
I think he needs to put up 24. He puts up 24, they got a shot.
I say 30 because I feel like the Eagles are going to score at least 24.
Okay, so I was close.
Yeah, so
I think that's about the number they need.
Oh, I guess they could get 28, but yeah, like at least they have to score more than 24. That's what I'm trying to say.
Something around that number, I think, gets it done.
Yeah, but I mean, even if the 49ers score 30, I mean, unlike Dakota,
if the 49ers score 30, I think you've lost.
No, I think I'm saying that if they score 30, they have a very good chance to win. I mean, obviously, anytime you score 30 points, you have a very good chance to win in the NFL. But unlike Dakota, if the 49ers score 30 and the Eagles have 24, if you can still put money on the Eagles to win the game at that point and the Eagles get the ball back, put money on Jalen Hurts to go down and score a touchdown. That's how confident I am in Jalen Hurts as a quarterback.
All right.
And it's very. I haven't felt.
I thought you were talking about the Dakota that was on the site.
No, I was talking about.
You got to stop calling Dak Prescott Dakota.
No, he lost the nickname. He's no longer Dak Prescott. He's Dakota Prescott.
Okay.
Because Dakota's a girl's name, and that's what
I noticed. That's what you did there, and okay. All right.
He's no longer earned the right to be Dak Prescott. He is now Dakota until he, which I don't think he ever will, until he redeems himself for blowing 2 potential game-winning drives. He's until further notice.
He could have scored at any point in that game.
That's true, but I mean, at the end of the day, literally, as a little kid, you sit to yourself and you're in the backyard pretending to play football, and I'm the quarterback. Oh, there's 30 seconds left. I got to get down the field and score. Like, that was the situation Dak Prescott was in.
$40 million.
Blew it twice.
$40 million to do that. I'm
just saying, I feel like, and this is why I love Jalen Hurts so much. One, he's fucking cool beyond all belief. And I'm so glad Jalen Hurts is good because he's so fucking cool. I was like, I really want him to be my quarterback. But fucking, my entire life being an Eagles fan, and I've seen some pretty good quarterbacks. Donovan McNabb. I know you don't like Donovan, but I think Donovan was a good quarterback. I mean, Michael Vick was good. That's really it. Other guys were backups. Jeff Garcia flashed for a playoff game once. The Detmer brothers, they weren't good. My entire life.
Forgot about your guy Kevin Cobb.
Yeah, Kevin Cobb. Fuck him. That one MVP year with Wentz. I've seen a lot of quarterbacks play and as Eagles, and I've never felt more as confident in the quarterback position as I do with Jalen Hurts.
Okay.
And the only other time I felt this way was 2017 when we won the Super Bowl, when Wentz was having his MVP season. That's the only other time where I'd be watching a game and I'd be like, we're 100% got a shot to win this game. Like, no matter what happened, I felt like we had a chance to win. I've never felt like that other than these 2 guys. That
Dak Prescott, $40 million to do that in the last 2 drives.
Yeah. So, the good news is, sounds like Mike McCarthy's keeping his job.
Yeah.
I'm glad to hear that.
Did you hear the even better news for you?
What?
Zeke Elliott, he's open to taking a pay cut to stay with the Cowboys.
I don't know how that's good news for me. I feel like that's
it's great news for you because if he just takes like a 5-10% pay cut, they're still overpaying him.
Well, I mean, they might still be overpaying him, but at the end of the day, they can if he takes a pay cut, they can still re-sign Pollard with that.
Well, they're gonna franchise tag him at least.
Well, yeah,
but
I mean, they franchise tag Pollard. Zeke takes his pay cut, and then now they can sign Pollard, do a real deal.
I mean, they're gonna do that. They're gonna sign Pollard anyway.
Well, true. But one last thing. I don't know. Do you have anything else on the game?
No.
Okay. So one last thing too.
Actually, I have one question.
Okay, yeah.
How scared are you of Bosa?
Again, like I said last week, he loves to play black quarterbacks.
That's why I wanted to get your read on Bosa this week.
See, I don't know. I mean, as good as he is, the way the Eagles were able to game plan for Micah Parsons in those 2 games against the Cowboys, I feel like if there's any offensive line that could step up, and I mean, you're never going to stop the guy, right? He's like that Michael Jordan thing. You can't stop him. You can only hope to contain him. I feel like if there's any team that kind of has a chance to like eliminate him from the game after playing Micah Parsons twice, holding him to 0 sacks, I feel like it's got to be this Eagles offensive line.
Okay. Just wanted to get your take.
But one last thing, and so this isn't really about either games. I feel like we really need to stop the narrative that Dak Prescott doesn't have any weapons.
Oh, that's false.
Like this guy he's had nothing but weapons his entire time in the league.
Yeah.
Like he's had a top 5 offensive line ever since he got drafted.
Not anymore, but when he first got drafted, his offensive line was unbelievable.
Okay, well, they may not be top 5 now, but they're still at least top 10.
Yeah.
He's had Ezekiel Elliott, who until like this year has been one of the best running backs in the NFL.
Besides the last 2 years, yeah.
Oh, he was pretty good last year too.
You think?
I mean, he wasn't like Zeke in his prime, but he was still pretty good.
Zeke in his prime is a different boy.
Again, he may not be in his prime, but I feel like you're discrediting him by saying he did not have he didn't have a great year this year, but he still had a pretty good year last year.
The year before that, he was really good.
Yeah. But he's had Ezekiel Elliott. This year he had Tony Pollard. Obviously, Tony Pollard got hurt. Like, CeeDee Lamb, he had fucking not Riley Cooper. What's his name?
You combined Cooper and Ridley.
Yeah, maybe. He had Amari Cooper, right?
Cooper Ridley.
And look, and you can sit here and say all you want that, like he hasn't had a tight end, but I don't know. He's had pretty good tight ends. Like when he entered the league, like
Jason Witten.
Schultz, like I said, he's not like the best tight end in the world, but I don't know. He's close to top 5, I would say.
Jason Witten might go to the Hall of Fame.
So I this narrative that like Dak doesn't have any weapons, like if I guarantee you, if you put like you want to talk about Dak being elite, right? Well, if you put Joe Burrow on this Cowboys team, it's probably a Super Bowl.
Yeah, I don't disagree with that.
They at least win the game last night.
Probably.
Put Mahomes on this team, probably win the game last night at the very least. And they make the championship game.
Prescott's not a top 10 quarterback.
Look, all I'm saying is I don't want to hear people say Dak doesn't have weapons because that is patently untrue.
Yeah.
Like he's had weapons. He folds like a lawn chair when the fucking lights are on. Like that's it.
Yeah.
I mean, it doesn't help that his coach is a fucking moron either, but still.
Here's who doesn't have weapons. Let's look. Who doesn't have weapons? The Giants. Like, if you want to say Daniel Jones didn't have a fair weapons, I think that would be fair to say, even though I'm not a Daniel Jones believer.
I think Darius Slayton's good, but like Darius Slayton by himself, like doesn't get anything done for you.
No. Like, what if he was the Giants quarterback?
Yeah, they would like. I don't know. Maybe they don't make the playoffs.
I know.
Playoffs. I don't know. I think they might still make the playoffs. Because I don't know. I think Daniel Jones was a turnover machine, but I mean, what Brian Dable was able to do with him, and I think Daniel Jones is a worse quarterback than Dak Dakota. I feel like that's fair to say.
I don't think it's that far off.
Yeah. So just stop it. Like, don't stop making excuses for a guy because he's fucking trash. Like, it's okay to say he's trash. Like,
yeah.
And it's okay
Him
to be
Kirk
wrong. Like, I
Cousins
was
are the
wrong
same
about
guy.
Wentz. I was wrong about Wentz. I'm happy to say it. Well, I'm not happy to say it. I like the guy. Wentz is an all right guy from like his charities and stuff. But I was wrong about Wentz.
How about him? Prescott and Kirk Cousins are the same guy.
Wait, so you're saying Wentz, Kirk Cousins, and Prescott are the same guy?
No, I'm saying Prescott and Kirk Cousins. They're the same guy.
No, that's fair. One can just run a little bit faster. That's about it.
Yeah.
All right.
All right.
Anything else, Trey, that maybe you want to go over? All right. Isaiah, any thoughts?
You got to ask him baseball questions.
Isaiah's like, I'm just here to edit, man.
Trey Turner's on the Phillies. Woo.
Yeah, he's the guy that slides, right? Trey Turner?
Yeah. I bet you knew something about baseball.
I like him.
He's going to be on the Phillies this year.
Yeah. Oh, I saw that. Yeah. I remember when they announced it, I was like, oh, that's the guy that slides. I was like, well, they all slide, but he does it the best.
I personally believe that Trey Turner is too fast to play shortstop. That's my opinion.
Too fast? How are you too fast?
See, here's my thing, right? You realistically can't be too fast, but I feel like he covers more ground better in the outfield with his speed than that whatever distance at shortstop.
So who's going to play shortstop?
That's the thing. I don't know. I feel like they shouldn't have got rid of Didi, but
he's kind of washed up.
Well, they still milk Robinson Cano for whatever they can get out of him. Like they can get him for however many.
Oh my God, I don't think you want Robinson Cano.
Well, I would never put him on the Phillies, but teams are still getting him around. I don't know how they're doing that, but
see, there's your 2 minutes of baseball talk, Chad. They did it.
Okay, yeah. Go Phillies! Woo! That's
all right. I'm gonna take this pub around a walk.
All right. Well, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week. Don't forget to. Oh, I forgot. Let me put the banner on. I didn't do it. So that. Oh, where's it at? Oh, here it goes. There you go. Check out the website, vendettasportsmedia.com. Follow the site on Twitter, Vendetta BSM. You can check out our Instagram as well. We have a Facebook. Go like and follow us on Facebook and all that. If you want to follow me on Twitter, at lowfooted LILFOOTED, Trey Daubert, or Trey is at Trey Daubert. And again, thanks for watching. We'll see you next week.